Kanye West faces backlash, a deep dive into his recent controversial comments. Kanye West, a figure who has long been known for his provocative statements and actions, has once again found himself at the center of a storm of controversy. During a recent live interview, West made a series of remarks that have sparked outrage and drawn widespread criticism from both fans and detractors. As the backlash continues to grow, many are calling for accountability and questioning the impact of the interview in question took place on a popular talk show where West was invited to discuss his latest projects and views on various topics. However, the conversation quickly took a turn when he began making comments that many found to be offensive and inflammatory. These remarks covered a range of sensitive issues, from race relations to political ideologies, and were seen by many as crossing the line. One of the most controversial aspects of West's comments was his take on race relations in America. He made statements that were perceived as dismissive of the struggles faced by marginalized communities and seemed to downplay the significance of systemic racism. These comments struck a nerve with many viewers, particularly those who have long admired West for his previous advocacy on behalf of the Black community. The apparent shift in his stance left many feeling betrayed and disappointed. And adding fuel to the fire, West also made provocative comments about recent political events. He expressed support for certain controversial policies and figures, aligning himself with views that are widely criticized for being divisive and harmful. These political statements were seen as particularly incendiary given the current polarized climate, and they further alienated many of his fans who had hoped for more unifying messages. The immediate response to West's comments was swift and intense. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions as people from all walks of life weighed in on the controversy. Hashtags calling for accountability trended on Twitter, with many users demanding that West face consequences for his remarks. Some fans expressed their disillusionment and disappointment, stating that they could no longer support him. Critics, meanwhile, seized the opportunity to denounce West and highlight the potential damage caused by his words. In the days following the interview, several high-profile individuals and organizations also spoke out against West's comment. Prominent figures in the entertainment industry, civil rights activists, and political commentators condemned his statements, emphasizing the need for responsible discourse, especially from influential public figures. Some called for boycotts of his music and merchandise, urging the public to take a stand against the spread of harmful rhetoric. Amidst the backlash, West himself has remained relatively silent. In the past, he has often doubled down on his controversial views, but this time his response has been more subdued. He issued a brief statement on social media, acknowledging the uproar but stopping short of offering a full apology. In his message, West defended his right to express his opinions, while also expressing regret if his words had caused hurt. This response has done little to quell the outrage, and many continue to call for a more substantive reckoning. The fallout from West's comments has also had tangible impacts on his business ventures. Several brands and companies that have partnerships with West have distanced themselves from him, suspending collaborations and issuing statements condemning his remarks. This economic backlash underscores the broader consequences of his actions as the financial ramifications begin to take shape. As the controversy continues to unfold, it raises important questions about the role and responsibility of celebrities in shaping public discourse. West, like many public figures, wields significant influence, and his words carry weight. The incident highlights the need for greater awareness and sensitivity when addressing complex social and political issues. It also underscores the potential for public figures to both inspire and harm, depending on how they use their platform. The backlash against West is not an isolated incident, but rather part of a broader pattern of controversies that have marked his career. Over the years, he has made numerous statements and taken actions that have sparked debate and divided opinion. From interrupting award shows to expressing controversial political views, West has often been at the center of public scrutiny. This latest incident adds to the ongoing narrative of his complex and often contentious public persona. For many fans and observers, the question now is whether West can or should be held accountable for his remarks. Accountability in this context can take many forms, from public apologies and reparative actions to more formal consequences such as boycotts and loss of endorsements. The debate around accountability also touches on broader societal issues, such as freedom of speech, the impact of celebrity influence, and the mechanisms through which public figures are held responsible for their actions. One aspect of the conversation that has gained traction is the idea of cancel culture. Some supporters of West argue that the backlash represents an unfair attempt to silence him and stifle free expression. They contend that while his comments may be controversial, he has the right to voice his opinions without facing undue repercussions. Critics of this view, however, argue that free speech does not absolve individuals from the consequences of their words, particularly when those words cause harm or perpetuate harmful ideologies. Another dimension of the controversy is the personal impact on West himself. Known for his battles with mental health issues, West's erratic behavior and provocative statements have often been attributed to his struggles with bipolar disorder. This raises ethical questions about how society should respond to public figures who may be dealing with mental health challenges. While mental health considerations do not excuse harmful behavior, they do add a layer of complexity to the discussion of accountability and support. In the midst of the controversy, there are also calls for more constructive engagement. Some voices in the public discourse advocate for using the incident as an opportunity for education and dialogue. They suggest that instead of merely condemning West, there should be efforts to address the underlying issues and foster a more informed and empathetic conversation. This approach emphasizes the potential for growth and learning, both for West and for the broader community. The impact of West's comments and the ensuing backlash also extend to his fan base. For many fans, particularly those from marginalized communities, the controversy has been deeply personal. The sense of betrayal and hurt is palpable as they grapple with the dissonance between their admiration for West's artistry and their disapproval of his statements. This internal conflict reflects the broader struggle of reconciling the complexities of public figures who inspire and disappoint in equal measure.